you are well today. I hope you're feeling amazing, as you should. So, today we're gonna talk about painting. As many of you know, baby, I'm a painter, I'm an artist, I'm a connoisseur. I do it all. But I started my entrepreneurial journey by painting on clothes, and I had that business going on for about like 3 years maybe, and then I stopped because your girl got burnt out. I was so burnt out, Lord. And then I started painting out of survival, so I stopped. But I'm back on it again. If you would like to commission me for a jacket, a bag, some pants, some shoes, whatever you want. If you don't want to commission me, baby, that's fine. That's why I'm making this video, so you could do it yourself. Thank you. If you're starting out with painting, you want to start painting on clothes and things, baby, watch this video, because I done went through trial and error, kind of, because I feel like I innately knew what to do, but I still went through trial and error with the paints and things, and that's why I'm making this video today, so that you can paint on your clothes professionally, have it look and be long lasting or longer lasting. Good quality, baby. It's gonna look like you printed it on. I really started my paints in like fall of 2020, aka during the pandemic. I was in, oh wait, no, I started in 2019, but I took it serious around 2020. And let me tell you, the universe really communicates in really interesting ways. But I was in high school and I wanted to find a job because I was like, baby, we need to make some bread, get some head, then leave. And I was like, it was when I got out of like a certain bakery that I just applied for, and I was like, universe, if this job is meant for me, let me have it. It was a nice bakery too, but this was also around the time where like I really took an interest in painting on clothes. So I was like, bro, if I'm meant to paint on my clothes, bro, don't give me the job. Like, just show me signs that I'm meant to pursue this painting. Literally, as I was walking out the bakery, I was like, universe, show me signs to get closer to my purpose. Baby, I didn't get that job. Not only did I not get the job, but I had so many signs telling me to pursue painting on clothes. So voila, I started an Instagram and I just started posting my work and getting commissions, and I had so many people supporting me, thankfully, on my art and what I do. And then boom, now I knew I wanted to paint on clothes, but I did not want that to limit me on, if I got fabric paint, I would only be able to use it on fabric. And then I would always read reviews on paints and things, and people would always say like acrylic stains onto your clothes, 1, and 2, fabric paint after some time is gonna wash off. So I was like, why the fuck am I gonna buy fabric paint for? And I could use acrylic paint for literally everything else in their mother. So that's exactly what I did. I went to Blix and I stole me a cold bunch. I don't do that no more. But I'm honest. That's what I did. But when you stealing from yourself. So I don't do that no more. Okay? And it was Blix. It wasn't a small store. So I give myself grace. You should too. Thank you. When I started out, like started out, I just had paint and water. But then like a couple months in, I ended up stealing a fabric medium. It was like an acrylic fabric medium for, it was an acrylic medium for fabric, and I got me a little bottle, and the bottle was so good I went back in there and I bought me a bigger one. This is it, baby. This is great. Now let me tell you, if you don't have this, or you don't have access or the means to get this, you're fine with water. But let me just tell you, water will make your piece stiff. Hold on, let me actually backtrack real quick. When you paint on clothes, you want to paint in layers. It depends on the fabric and the color of the fabric and like how good your acrylic paint is that you're using. But the first layer and the first couple layers should be just white and mixed with water, or mixed with this. Why? because when you make that base layer, it's gonna be way easier to paint everything else on to the bag. I prefer the medium because I feel like this kind of helps with the longevity of the piece, because it decreases the amount of cracking that the fabric has when the fabric moves. So when I paint my first piece, let me actually get a bag and I'll show y'all. I had a wedgie. This is an incomplete bag of mine, but I feel like it's a perfect example to talk about the steps in which I go and do things. So when I do a piece, this is a canvas bag, same thing goes for a jacket. I always start out drawing it. If it's a blob or something, I draw it on. Me personally, I like to plan out where I'm gonna place things, how it's gonna look, and then I flow. Some people just splat, 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 and they go along the journey. Baby, you do you. You are an artist. You are a creative. Do what floats your boat. For me though, I doodle it on. This is a full circle. It's just on the side of the bag. I would have this on both of the sides. So I start out drawing the circle, and then with my water, with my white paint, I mix it with some water to get it like way looser and more watery, or I mix it with this. Sometimes I do water and this, and then I just go along and I paint the circle. And you see these edges for the most part are pretty clean. I think I did, if not 1-2 layers of white paint on this canvas material. Now when it comes to a bag, if I was to use just water for this paint or like the design in the middle, that's fine because this is a bag. But if it's a jacket, I would recommend you using the medium, especially when it comes to places where your body really folds. So it's like the elbow area, elbow grease, your arms, your thighs, like when you sit down, your ass and your thighs, like this part right here. If you were to have a paint design there, you definitely need that fabric medium because it will crack. Your legs too are very prone to like shifting and all these things. It also depends on like the way it fits. Like if you're wearing a tight pair of pants compared to if you're wearing loose pants or cargos or sweats, it's different. Or if you're painting on shoes like a pair of Vans, definitely I would recommend you using this because baby, you finna crease them shits anyways. You don't want to crack them. At least as me. I would best recommend you using water for, like I said, canvas bags, small pieces. If you were to do it on the back of a jacket, that can work out too depending on the sizing. It might be a little uncomfortable if you take up the whole back of the jacket. I did that one time when I didn't know about this. I used water to do the base layer and I painted everything on. Babe, you could barely wear that jacket. It is so stiff. It was cute though. It was real cute. You'll also see a lot of cracking on painted clothes when you washed it a lot, which is also why before you paint on your jacket, before you paint on your back, before you paint on anything, wash your piece. Make sure it's clean. Take advantage. You don't want to like paint on something dirty. Why? Why would you do that? Why are you gonna paint on something just to wash it right after? Like, wash it first and then paint on it. Or take it to get commissioned, but it has to be clean. Now for this piece, you see how like it bends nicely. It doesn't, wearing it is not uncomfortable. It doesn't feel stiff because I use this. And I also mix this in with water. But me using this is what makes it very comfortable to wear. I mean, of course it's a little like, because it is painted on. But it's much more comfortable compared to pieces that I've done with just water where it's completely stiff. Back onto the base layer, I forgot to mention, doing a base layer on your clothes will make the paint pop and it will make the design just stand out so much more. I don't have any pieces that are just painted on like that because I don't do that, but a lot of times, like let's say if you were to paint, especially with yellow's yellow. I feel like black is the only color that like you paint on it and you actually see like the design and like no transparency, no nothing. But for the most part, with most of your colors and most of your paints, if you were to just paint straight on everything you're painting on, it just looks different. It doesn't look, it looks painted on, and that's not to say that it looks bad, because it most definitely doesn't. Okay, you're an artist, no art is bad, but I say that to say it doesn't look like it would be printed on. You would think that this is printed on. It's just a certain oomph that having that base layer gives your paint. It sets the foundation so beautifully for the color and for the design and everything else that you're adding onto the jacket or your piece. In terms of having a base layer, I feel like that also helps with the longevity of the piece. When you wash your piece, when you do your things in your piece, and you use your art piece on a regular basis, it's gonna get worn down, okay? Just like this cotton shirt getting lint on it after mad washes, baby. I've done wore this shirt so many times. The same thing happens to your piece. But adding those layers and those extra layers of care will definitely help keep it much more long lasting. For example, this piece has metallic on it, metallic paint. I know you see it. It's like a little shiny or whatever. This metallic is the metallic, and it looks how it looks because of the layers that I've used. So in terms of this piece, what I did was I think one layer of white. Also, the first layer should be the thinnest layer of paint, because you want the paint to seep into the material and embrace the material, so that the material doesn't fight the acrylic paint in making it crack and like be able to like peel off. You know when you get like paint on yourself and then you could just like kind of scratch it off and it kind of starts like taking itself off. Doing your base layer, mixing it with a good amount of water or a good amount of this, not enough so it's like a milk consistency, but almost like a clumpy milk. That will help the foundation of the piece. Anyways, I feel like I said that like 3 times, but those are really my tips and tricks to making my paint last and making my pieces last a really long time. It's really the base layer. You want to make sure you have a good base layer, good foundation, especially if you're doing words. If you're putting words on a bag, on a pair of pants. I have a pair of pants. Let me show you real quick. Alright, so these pair of pants I done painted on a couple years ago, and they still look great. Let me tell you why. Because of my big fat ass. I have a sword here, and I did this at least 2 years ago, and it's still in pretty good condition. I don't think I did this with the fabric medium. I don't think I had it when I made this, but it's still in pretty great condition. Only thing is, this part done shipped away a little bit, and like you can see little pieces of it just washing away. But besides that, it's in great condition. And if you feel the pants itself, here around this area feels way thinner than this area. This feels like a good, like it's not too thick, not too nothing, but it feels like a good layer of paint is on here, and here it's just thinner. When I do my line art also, I usually do absolutely everything in the line art. I just mix with like water and black paint, and then I just do my thing. But here, baby, look at these words. These words done stayed on. Be glad that I'm not gone. It says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Absolutely none of the letters have peeled. Some of them are cracked a little bit, but the cracking is so minimal and so small, you can't even tell that it's cracked. And that's because I did the base layer. I've also done the base layer. Well, it's important to do the base layer when you're working with words as well, because that's what helps the paint stick and last a long time. Like if you see, the letters are doing great. They look great, they feel great, they still have that texture in them from when I painted on them. They're doing great. Something that I honestly love doing when working with letters and painting with letters on clothes, you do the base layer. If I'm working on black, I would probably do like maybe 2 base layers just so it could pop a little bit more. I might have done 2 layers of black, but on the last layer I just do a good little thick layer. And that's what kind of gives it that rise and that little bump of texture on the clothes as well. Then when you're done with your piece, it doesn't matter if you use this or if you use water, set that shit with heat. Get your little iron, put a shirt over it, a plain shirt, and just set it. And keep it there for like a minute, just so it could really seep into the material and like glue itself onto the material basically. And when you wash your piece, it's not gonna wash any of the paint away because you set that shit with heat. If you don't have a, como se dice, an iron, put it in the dryer. I personally really like painting cuffs. I apply the same exact thing. When it comes to areas that are like very touchy, very prone to get dirty, I like to paint the cuffs just so it gives it that luxury feel for longer. Because what I look like with this nice ass jacket on, and then you see the cuffs and they're like, oh my god, your cuffs are stained as fuck. Like, what do you eat with your hands? Like, what? Why are your cuffs so dirty? Why are they so stained?
Why are you winking at me? Why did you give me $1? My brain hurts.
So that's why I paint on the cuffs. For areas like these though, I usually do like a very thin layer, and then I just go on and I layer it so until it's at the opaqueness that I want it to be at. Then you iron that baby on, then boom. That's basically my advice. In terms of technique, and don't steal. In terms of technique and the way you paint, that's all you. That's your style, that's your essence, that's your way of being an artist and being a creative. If you're interested in seeing the way I go about it, then let me know and I'll show you. But I just wanted this video to be more about how you can incorporate your style and your technique and level it up to make it look and feel and just be more professional. Because I would hate to see you paint something on your clothes and then wash it one time and then have it be gone. I would cry. I mean, why me? Let us wear art and keep art on our bodies that lasts a long time, baby, because you here to make a statement, and so is me, and so is we, and so is she, and so are they. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm looking forward to sharing just so much more on my creative journey and the way I go about doing things as an artist, so that you too can step into your artist bag and get it done. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure you drink your water, and if you decide to paint anything, send it to me, because I want to see what you be creating. But I'm not a rapper. Okay, bye.